You have this young sister who's a Starbucks employee. She's at her job doing her thing. And I would tell you this, when you're young and you start experiencing, anti-black racism and the nuance of it, it just get on your nerves. And I just want you to watch this video with this young sister going to deal with from, these anti-black Beckys, on the job. But let's go ahead and check this out. Let's go ahead on and definitely get into this.
Actually, but you're not black.
But y'all can say the same thing.
So
y'all can say about us over here. And songs. Why are you recording? Is there mocha or I'm not gonna say it towards you.
No, you're not.
I'm not.
That's you're rude. Not.
That's rude.
No, it's
respectful. I don't say
that ain't no respectful. Is you not saying at all?
Okay,
you're not
I won't
respectful.
Say that again.
You is. You already said that you be saying it. Oh hell no! Y'all hope y'all hear this, y'all. Only at Starbucks. All right, y'all. So this is after the video, but I will never be talking to that hoe again. Like, girl, you serious? Y'all, after the video, I got real serious because it's like, girl, I don't give if you were saying it in your sleep. You're saying it. Like, what do you mean? Like, is she trying to justify? I told her, like, in the conversation, ain't no justifying it. You say it. Like, girl, I'm so irritated right now. Like, these white people really be playing with me. Like,
yes, sister, some of them will try to play in your face until they realize you have certain knowledge. And listen, they very smart. They'll look at you like, I don't know about him or her. I don't know if I should say certain things. Because, since you were young or whatever, they was trying you, right? But here's the thing. They say that all the time in their house. They say it all the time in their house, young sister. And they've been saying it in their house ever since they've been talking. Because that word is said around them. These people have a sick obsession with black people. Even you go back to the Jim Crow segregation times, right? We can't be around them or anything. They will still come in our areas when we're supposed to be segregated. Because they don't want us around them, but they want to come around us anytime they get good and ready. Because who's to tell them where they can't go, right? But if you understand that culture, and that's why black people got to teach that culture to our children to know exactly what you're going to deal with living here in America, definitely with them still being in control for now. Because, their numbers are dwindling, so eventually they're going to have to let some things go. It's going to happen. You got to teach your children that you got to watch out for that at all times and understand that is the culture. You have to understand, sister, that is a cultural word for them. They the one created that word. We didn't create that word. Notice how upset they get when black people basically put them on blast and check them, say, you're not going to be saying that word. And they get upset by it because they feel like, wait a minute, you're taking part of my culture away from me. Well, you mean I can't say my cultural word that our people made up? They can't even listen, they're not a progressive culture at all, okay? It's so many other words that we could say about people. We always change our lingo up. They say the exact same things they've been saying since the freaking 16 and 1500s. Nothing has changed. The same old stereotypes, the same old, to say y'all running around here saying that you have a high IQ, I don't see it. I don't see it at all because anybody got a high IQ wouldn't be saying the same words. Now, you have some black people saying, well, we shouldn't say that in music. Listen, black folks wasn't saying that word in music for a very long time. Back in all our music, we never used that. And they still were saying that word to black people. So it's not the music that's making them say anything, but they've been saying it. When we was enslaved, they were saying it. We didn't make that kind of music then. Jim Crow and all that. We didn't make that kind of music, saying the N-word or nothing like that. They were saying it then. Because, sometimes black people give up, well, we stopped saying it. They'll stop saying it. No, they won't. It is in their culture to say that word. They're taught in their household to have a disdain toward black Americans. And we're talking about the collective. We're not talking about individuals. Because you may have some individuals say, man, I'm not like that or whatever. And you may not be that way, and God bless you. But you have to admit that the collective think that way about Black America. And you know one way to tell? Piss them off. Watch how they react. Watch the word that come out of their mouth about Black folk. They complain on us but can't stay away from us. And you had every right to check that girl for saying that. Yeah, and don't talk to her. And really, you should be reporting her to HR and say, hey, what you going to do about it? You going to fire her? What you going to do? Because you don't have to fire her, but oh boy, we about to sue. We about to sue because that is racial discrimination. And if it's being allowed and she could stay there, then you going along with Starbucks, then you're going to have a bigger issue than what she had to say. But pay attention. They're all young. You know, at one point in time, people used to say, well, you know, if these boomers and all of them, you know, they move on, the racism will kind of die down. No, it won't. Them young ones is just as racist as the old ones. Age has nothing to do with it. Once again, it is culture, not age. It is culture. And the culture teaches this in their household. They don't go to school to learn that. They learn it in their household. This is why you have Black children go to daycare. They're 1-2 years old, and one of their children is calling a little Black child the N-word. Why? Because children don't learn those sort of things. They're taught that. No child coming to the earth having any kind of disdain or hatred toward anybody. Children see each other and just want to play. That's reinforced in the home. And in my opinion, that's a form of abuse. It's a form of abuse, and children, in my opinion, shouldn't be subjected to that. And you stone cold hate people, you shouldn't even have no children. The state need to take your children. Yeah, I said it. The state need to take your children because you're teaching that child to have hatred toward people, and you may be raising, maybe you didn't do it, but you may be raising the next Dylan Roof. Because they may take it there. And you taught them to feel that way about Black people in your house. Then when they become Dylan Roof, I don't know what happened to him. Maybe he got radicalized online. No, he got radicalized in your house because of you. You were talking all this crap about Black folk all the time. He kept hearing it for years. He just took it to the next level that you didn't take it to. You thought it's just some harmless anti-Black racism that's part of the culture, and you got people that will take it to the next level, but they are in the home with a white mother and a white father. Notice the Dylan Roofs of the world always got a father in the household, but they tell us as Black Americans, oh, well, if you had more fathers in the household, y'all wouldn't be having these issues. Well, you know what? Black single mothers not raising Dylan Roofs. You ain't seen that one so-called Black criminal go into church and shoot anybody. You haven't seen one Black criminal go into a schoolhouse of learning and shoot anybody with a Black single mother. So it tells me Black single mothers do a lot better with rearing their children than them with two-parent households. Look at the shooter with Charlie Kirk. He had a mother and a father in the household. So what does that say about your upbringing? That's all I'm saying about it. Listen, don't ever let these people talk down to you. When you listen, all you gotta do is look at statistics and look at history and read them for filth. I won't never let nobody talk down to Black Americans, not them. Because everything they say, they're projecting. Black people steal. Man, ain't nobody stole more than y'all. No Black person catch up with you on stealing. You steal people, countries. Look, Trump just stole a tanker from Venezuela. Just stole their stuff. Like, just took it. That's stealing, bruh. That's stealing. I don't care what you say. You stole. You're still stealing to this day. You can't stop stealing. You want to steal resources? You want to steal people's everything. Because that's part of that culture. That's like they can never tell me about my people. Never. But you got to read. Listen, you got to read books, learn history. I'm giving you the game. Read books, learn history. Read. Some people don't want to read. That way, when they tell you something silly, you know how to read them for filth by 15 minutes based on history and facts. Because listen, the worst roast is a factual one. When you read somebody fulfilled based on facts, history, and everything, what could they say? You say, hey, go look it up on the AI. Go look it up on Google, whatever you want to look at it at. Go look it up. Because you know what? I know my history. I know what they're capable of, what they have done, and what they're doing now. So they can't tell me about that culture. My first book, Passive Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy. Look that up. Read that book. My very first book. I broke all that down. How they get down with the racism. On the job, everywhere. I broke it down in that first book. Pick it up on Amazon. But yeah, we gotta learn. We gotta learn how to get down. Definitely as black people, that is a safety issue for us. It's not just because you want to learn it. No, you have to know it to be safe as black Americans. And if you are not black American and you're other group of people, I think you should learn it as well. You should read my book as well, because they do practice racism against all people who aren't them. So you should learn it and know exactly, how they get down. But young sister, keep your head up. I understand it's annoying. You wanna slap the taste out of their mouth, but don't do that. Don't do it, like I said, because you're not gonna be justified in what you're doing. Just go ahead on, say what you're gonna say back to them, and go ahead on and get them reported. And if not, sue Starbucks. That's the best way to go.